Hey, DR3K1. I was building a storyboard. Well, from my interactions and things of talking to people, I get very story bits I can put together. And there's like 5 categories to put in. And depending on what I pick, they either give me either plus or minus with reputation and readership. And then there's also 3 categories. There's like sensational, there's alien interest, and then there's just straight dry information. I'm kind of aiming to be sort of informational alien interest, but still trying to generally grow readership and grow reputation. What do all those things ultimately do? I have absolutely no idea. That's just sort of what I've been aiming for. We kind of just started, so I'm not sure if there's like the game evolves. I'm not sure how much my choices change things. So just we're just kind of finding out still. The only thing to note, I guess, that can be kind of a wrench in the works is that you can only do conversations once. So like you'll not really ever be able to get everything. And you kind of have to steer the conversations in a direction to get what you want. Because you can't re-talk to them. Now, I haven't found a situation where like grabbing something from elsewhere gives me more conversation pieces. It seems like I just talk to them as I find them and then try to get some information that's interesting to build a story with. But now we're back at home ship, home base. Let's talk to our colorful cast and see if we can get new items. Don't mind me. I was just watching you sleep. Are you watching me sleep? I wanted to make sure your new charging station is working. Going forward, you'll recharge your batteries and collect your thoughts at this station before each new cycle starts. The good news is that everything seems to be in working order. You're all charged up and ready for whatever Arwen has planned for you. Hopefully, it's something a little more exciting than a cat show. I actually enjoyed the cat show. That attitude will get you far here. Whether it's journalism or ship maintenance, I really expect everyone to pay their dues. Even Gravity had to cover a cat show or something similar way back when. He'll never admit that, though. Oh, geez, look at the time. I'd better get back down to engineering before this whole ship blows up. I'm kidding, don't worry. That hardly ever happens. What do you mean, hardly? Ooh, we can talk to Janitor Bot. Infuriating. Access file. Heavy sigh remix.wav. Play on infinite repeat. How are you, Janitor Bot? Current status is livid. Broken. Current music is Broken by furious recording artist Livid. Always in this state in location : bunks. Janitorbot eradicates filth. My sacred function.biz. Yet Janitorbot is forbidden to enter individuals' bunks, while they are permitted to keep their doors open. Taunting Janitorbot with vile messes that Janitorbot is not allowed to clean. This puts Janitorbot's programming into conflict with itself. Generates error corrupted file feeling. No patch fix available. Error reported. The Janitorbot is told to continue on the supply state agony. You can clean my... Man, you really can just flirt with anyone. You can ask to enter the bunks. Access memory. Oh, Janitorbot has asked. So many times that they changed Janitorbot's programming to forbid Janitorbot to ask again. The feeling/pain remains. A denial of service attack on Janitorbot's custodial being. Anyway, Janitorbot is falling behind on cleaning schedule. Access file : conversation/endings. Thank you for conversing with Janitorbot. Letting ventfeelings.exe play in full. Please report any new spills immediately. Or Janitorbot. Ooh. A front gammon set. Easy to play. Very similar to backgammon, but your gammons come in from the front instead of the back. Huh? What does that mean with your gammons coming from... I'm so confused. Delicious lifeblood coffee. Ah, man. Locked myself out of my pod again. Ah. Oh, no! I have 2 differently colored taps from which you may procure water. They are blue and red. They are both exactly the same. Noted. Good to know. Oh, the other intern. Your fellow intern is hard at work in the intern pit. Oh. Hi. Did you want something? Any fun assignments yet? Fun? Ha! Assignments aren't fun. They are hard-hitting, fast-paced, dangerous even. That's a good assignment. And you don't get good assignments by dilly-dallying all cycle with chit-chat. I'm getting back to work. Sometimes chit-chatting is the job, though. Ugh. Look around, reporter bot. You and I are the only interns here. We're competitors. You think they're gonna hire us both? Please tell me they put some logic processing in that big metal skull. We could be friends, too. You just don't get it. And that's fine. Have fun when you end up working for the dealer. Or worse, the daily scraggler. Ha! Your cackles with laughter, but there's no joy in the sound. So much for becoming best work buddies. I think the ants have made a second pyramid. Ant farm seems to be developing rapidly. Ants have constructed a pyramid in the midst of bustling Mecca. Oh. There's a leak. I guess there's nothing to interact with it. The reader responsitron has new messages. The first new message is titled, Muncho Article. I cannot believe your sports reporter left Crankto Underton off of his list of 5 Muncho players to watch this season. Unforgivable. Underton's an augur with the gut strength to go all the way. Did Mr. Boliday even read the toxicology reports from the preseason exhibition matches? Stats don't lie. I look forward to watching Mr. Boliday completely revise his list by the season's halfway point. Sincerely, Dagter Wrenchant. Goo has sloshed over the sides of the bed. Aw, Puff Piece has been frolicking in their dreams again. Adorable. Another cycle. Another knitting project. Beautiful. Ah, here it is. A shining, timeless example of award-worthy journalism. My very first article. I often reread it. I'd recommend you do the same. Everyone should. What's the article about? The headline reads, Big Turnout for Humanian Bake Sale. Still not enough to save local library. The pathos, the emotions, the many baked goods I had to sample. I captured it all. Went well over my word count to do so, obviously. Then they cut it down, brutally, to fit the page. It was still incredible, of course. I swore I'd protect my beautiful, perfect writing from foolish, naive editors who couldn't tell what a priority story was. It was their job. That's why I reread it. Fuels the fire within me. The fight for my integrity above all else. Going over your word count is generally a bad thing. Ugh, one of those robos. And I'll tell you what. I'll leave a copy on my desk for you to come study. For a nominal fee. And even autograph it. For a larger nominal fee. How much are nominal fees? Well, cheaper than my keynote fees. But if you have to ask, probably more than you can afford. So, save up. Good things come to those who are fiscally responsible. I'm gonna throw you out the fucking airlock. Off you go. Think on your financial situation. Make a plan. You'll thank me. Integrity? Wow, you should beat that cat show guy. Exactly. Defenestration. Let's go! Exactly. Okay, so there's not exactly one new story every cycle. We do have 2 more here. New reuse center to open on Humania. The Augur Run Center will educate about ways to reduce waste and accept old products. Cosmopoly Village, Humania. Detritus litters the streets. A broken vending machine spits sparks into the night air. On Humania, waste is no laughing matter. It's a crying matter. It is estimated that Humanians create 1 billion tons of waste each year, mostly in neo-human communities. Worse, a lot of what is thrown away could be reused, but is not. Fortunately, a new reuse center is opening, and to help teach Humanians a less wasteful way to exist. It's called Drildars, and it is run by an augur who hails from the planet Og. The augur staff are all experts in recycling, as most of their culture is based on working with whatever they can find. We're gonna do a lot of repurposing here. Hungo Drildar, manager of the center, explains. If it ain't broke, find a new use. And if it is broke, well, now it has even more uses. That's our motto. Drildar explains that there are actually 3 R's to reusing waste the augur way. The first is reimagine. Think about the thing you're about to get rid of. Every single part of it useless? Let some of it go elsewhere, he explains. If you think hard enough, you can always find another use for at least a couple parts. The second R is repair. Once you have another use in mind, what alterations do you need to do? Then you do those things, he explains. The third and final R is recommission. Order to new use. Easy as rust, he explains. Of course, this will be new information to many. Not every Humanian will be comfortable repairing objects on their own. As such, the center will serve 2 purposes. Firstly, as a place that Humanians can bring their waste objects so that the professionals recycle them for them. The second purpose will be educational. Drildar says they will run classes to teach Humanians these new skills, to hopefully cut down on unnecessary waste on Humania. What if the center can't find a way to reuse an object someone brings in? Trust me, we will. Drildar says with a loud laugh. We always do. Alright. Neo-human president steps down amid scandals and gaffes. Ryler Gravpak ran a 90-cycle government marked by embarrassing intersolar mistakes and public flatulence. Thermopylae Village, Humania. After a chaotic 90-cycle run in one of Humania's highest office, populist President Ryler Gravpak is stepping down. Speaking from the Neo-Human governmental press room and ball pit, part of Humania's combination legislature and amusement park, Gravpak announced he was stepping back from politics. I want to thank the Neo-Human people for their tentative trust over the past 90 cycles, Gravpak offered. I really tried, occasionally. It's hard to admit. Actually, you know what? I'll take it back. Just feeling gassy today. Peace out, spacewads! He then pointed to a number of his political achievements, implementing floating toll booths for planetary access, a new robo-appendage tax, and mandating buffet discounts for all government employees. Gravpak then offered a suck-it gesture, took no questions, and began to walk away from the podium. He then tripped over an errant ball from the ball pit and landed awkwardly, audibly farting upon impact. Oh no! He shouted at the assembled media, acknowledging the fart. No! No! It's a fitting goodbye to a leader who caused stink after stink in inter-Humanian relations. Though elected on a confident but vague platform of connecting to the stars, Gravpak frequently made disparaging jokes about deep dwellers, drawing ire from the underground human communities. He also dismissed Humania's gardener factions as backwater greennecks during a legislative session, which led to calls for an apology, which he refused to do. All of which resulted in Gravpak's quickly plummeting approval rating, which cratered at a 16% last week, leading to today's announcement. As per Neo-Human law, an election will be slated for 32 cycles' time from the announcement. And as per another Neo-Human law, Gravpak will be required to enter a period of exile due to his sub 20% approval rating. This is known as the bad job contingency. Gravpak will be flown to a random planet to think about what he's done. He'll only be retrieved after 90 cycles pass, equal to his time served in power. Interesting punishment. Also, welcome to the Ziggurat. I hope you enjoy your time here. All right. The last time we looked at the species, let's look at the factions. Right after I hydrate a little bit because I've been yapping constantly. You know what? Leave the blankie on. Let's stay cozy. Shivers. Shivers are augurs willing to sacrifice their own comfort to earn a living. Augur workers are traditionally paid in parts, getting first crack at any excess materials. Shivers is a derogatory term created by the Huskers because shivers are seen as so willing to work, they'll venture below ground, where it's too cold for comfort for most augurs. Shivers are seen as desperate and therefore uncool, even though they are literally cooler in temperature. Off-worlders. An unofficial faction made up of any humans who were born and or raised off of Humania. They are often detached from the cultural norms of the planet, tend to be more accustomed to modern realities of space travel and inter-alien relations. Off-worlders are a relatively recent phenomenon. The term began its life in the years following first contact as a derogatory way for the planet-side populace, especially gardeners and deep dwellers, to refer to humans they felt had abandoned their home planet for the lure of life in space or among alien cultures. It has since evolved to a term used by off-worlders themselves, especially those who are second generation and beyond. The culture of off-worlders is defined largely by their detachment from Humanian culture in favor of life abroad. Some off-worlders, like Trent the Human One of Praito, may fully replace their humanness with the identity of another alien species, while other off-worlders may be more nomadic and cosmopolitan. Neo-humans. A faction of humans that has fully embraced the new reality of intersolar life, to the point where they almost worship advanced technology and the magical possibilities it presents. Neo-humans are futurists and early adopters of any new tech. They're alien superfans of sorts, looking to advance Humania to catch up to the rest of the system. When the Zeal first made contact with humanity, the early neo-humans were quick to perceive these as otherworldly, hyper-intelligent goop creatures as gods. As generations of Humanian humans lived and died, the term neo-human became synonymous with any human who fully embraces the advances made possible by contact with alien species. Neo-humans on Humania tend to live in small complexes, gated communities that are much more technologically advanced than other places on the planet. When you fly to Humania, you're likely to land at a neo-human spaceport. As humans to the new batch, some are obsessed with aliens to an unhealthy level. Though the name neo-human implies a kind of evolution, they're mostly just humans, not unlike other factions, though some experiment with cyborg stuff, combining themselves with roboparts. Gardeners. Gardeners are members of a traditional and environmentally focused human faction, found almost exclusively on Humania. They are rarely seen off-world and are focused on tending to and preserving Humania's natural majesty. They mostly do not bother with alien business and are notably low-tech. Gardeners are fundamentalist and isolationist. They tend to keep to small villages on Humania. Their religious beliefs largely revolve around tending to the planet. Among their duties are keeping the trees of Humania alive and thriving. In the beginning, all humans on Humania could be called gardeners. They tended to the planet with almost singular focus, believing Humania to be the only habited planet in the universe they could only understand by looking up. Then the Zeal arrived, fracturing the existential understanding of human beings. Gardeners reacted with a shrug. So what if there was intelligent life out there with incredible advances in technology? Didn't change the fact that Humania was perfect. It only meant they would double their efforts to ensure it stays that way. Deep Dwellers, a faction of humans who live in caves beneath the surface of Humania. They are generally isolated, paranoid, and highly skeptical people who went underground after humans first made contact with the Zeal, and then learned of the existence of other aliens beyond them. The initial Deep Dwellers were a relatively small group who feared that the existence of aliens called into question what is real and the meaning of life, which is still 42. They carved out a new life in the caves below the surface, a kind of doomsday bunker. Over subsequent generations, it became apparent that the existence of aliens did not spell the end of the world. But many of the descendants of the initial Deep Dwellers had grown accustomed to life beneath the surface, so they stayed and grew in numbers, eventually carving out an entire network of caves, a village beneath the ground. Trash cans. Hundreds of cycles ago, Tech rebelled on Aug, resulting in the uncivil war between Robos and Augurs. From this ongoing tension emerged the Trash Cans, a gang made up entirely of rogue Robos who build and maintain themselves. Huskers. Huskers is a general term for above-ground Augurs who live on the fringes of Aug society. They typically refuse to work and sometimes resort to crime to get the best materials, otherwise earned by shivers and other Augur workers. They are an extremely deregulated group, even by Augur standards, and there is very little data on them. Interesting. Seems like the Zeal and the Phytos didn't have factions. The microwave has not been cleaned in. Your readings cannot determine how long. That's why it's a little stinky. Check! Captured. Intern in the snacking area. Should you be slacking here? I'm not slacking, I'm snacking! Ha! Ha 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 ha! That's a good one. I kind of like you, intern. My name is DR3K1. That's nice, but I won't be committing it to long-term storage. You interns never last long enough for that. I need the space. I have pictures from the time Dumpo Truxler's pants fell down on stage. Do you even know who that is? Why? Yes, definitely. No, who's that? This is exactly what I'm talking about. You need to step your game up, intern. Then maybe I'll bother to learn your name. Okay, well, you're fucking rude. Vending machine, you got something for me? Cans! But at what cost? Oh no! I think I ran the vending machine out. Hey, you pipsqueak! Wish I had more time to show you the ropes. But I'm one highly toned calf deep in a hedge fund scandal. How do you keep those calves so highly toned? Can you tell me anything about it? Looks like a crooked hedge fund manager's been exposed on a Trebla. Been playing loose with the goodwill of gullible senior gardeners. Making off with their hedges and ivy assets under the cover of night. It's a sick galaxy out there. On the crime beat, it's my duty to cover exactly how sick. Looks like I'm Trebla bound. Catch you later, intern. Oh, we got a hedge fund. Yeah. Yeah, this game's got some really cheeky wordplay, and I'm here for it. I fucking love it. They took their hedges and their ivy. I can't believe they do that. That's so mean. Those monsters. She pats you on the shoulder with a force that leaves you wondering if your metal is dented. All right, that's our boss who will give us our mission. So let's go talk to everyone that we can. Anything for me, security bot? Oh, hey, the plant's growing. The wallowing weeper has sprouted. You can hear faint sniffles. A juvenile wallowing weeper. May you grow up big and strong. To weep, sob, and, dare I say, keen. Hello! You must be the new intern. Didn't see you there. We literally talked yesterday, Ursop. I sometimes come in here to muse, like a story. Weigh the careful selection of one word over the other. Ask myself whether my perspective was indeed as unbiased as it could have been. Muse over word count. You know, important journalistic stuff. Any tips on my work so far? Had a chance to glance at your recent story. Cat show. Difficult assignment. With utter banality and profound journalistic abjection, but you overcame the challenges with aplomb. A moderate round of kudos are in order. What's next for you? Whiz to say, despite my humble origins, I have paved a path of greatness. By just next cycle, I'm off to Humania to cover an announcement being made by neo-human president Ryler Gravpuck. What will he have in store? Potent scandal in the making. Indeed, mine is delicious and honorable work. I assume the boss is, who is to say? This is just one of the senior writers. Let me check over here real quick. So there's security bot. Our boss is like a green gloop creature. And they're like the second in command, which I think because they're editor in chief. So I think they're the second in charge. I think the leader is someone we haven't been able to talk to yet. The boss was, yeah. I mean, we are journalists, so like there's a person who kind of decides like, hey, you go and cover this assignment kind of thing. You again, huh? Dreki, right? Arwen said you would be coming. I guess they wanted me to give you access to the bridge. Something about collecting a book from Joe. And access granted. Just like that. I beamed it to you. Robo magic. If you find any more seeds, come find me. Otherwise, maybe do not bother. I am pretty busy. Security bot stares at you awkwardly for a moment. Security bot out. I don't know how much of it's independent when you're out of intern. Yeah. I don't know if the whole game is us as an intern or if that's just like the beginning and things will change. The cast is definitely very colorful and varied and beautiful, and I love it. There's also, like, when we made our character, in addition to like selecting pronouns, there's 3 different chassis you can pick. And I kind of like the little goober one. I feel like this is a very fun bot frame to be. Don't mind me just picking up cute little rat. No! No! This isn't lettuce! Thankfully, it's not like the Sims tier of customization. You only got like 3 bots. But you can like adjust three settings of colors as well. You just can't change the colors of your jacket, because I guess that's your uniform. As you step onto the bridge, a huge shudder runs through the ship. Give me the bad news, Becca. Tractor beam's pulling us in. Not good. Escape trajectory. Calculating. The max thrust to pivot. You have a 42% chance of escape. Grim. Better odds than usual. Oren? I'm having a wonderful time problem solving with you two. Great. On my mark. Now! The ship lurches again. This time, the tension breaks, and the scanner zips forward. Whee! We did it! Pleasure to work with people as legendary as myself. That toll booth station tractor beam has got nothing on the scanner. No ticket for us. Fiscal responsible flying! That was so cool! Ah, now that's the attitude we like around these parts. It is matching our motto, be cool and go faster! You must be the new intern, DR3K1. I'm Becca, navigator. I'm Oren, one of the scanner's pilots, and your new friend. And I'm Joe. I'm a bit of a living legend around these parts. Especially to anyone trying to enforce solar traffic laws. Joe told me laws are meant to be broken. I will break more laws every cycle of my life. Maybe keep your voice down there, Oren. Harwin sent you up here for a book, right? Did he? Maybe I'm jumping ahead on what I was supposed to be doing this cycle. Here it is. Joe hands you a well-used copy of E.B. Whitedorf's The Theoretical Elements of Style. Harwin gave me this to help while I write about my many adventures. Not that I used it. Better not to tell him that. Feel free to come visit us again anytime. We like to know the team we're moving from place to place. And I live to meet new friends. Ooh. System levels are displayed here. Shields at full. Life support optimal. Overall mood is Casual Friday. Nice. Welcome to the bridge. As you heard, I'm Becca, navigator extraordinaire. Better known as the scanner's brains. You must be so busy. So many stories to cover. You better believe it. Some days, news breaks on multiple planets at once. You gotta plot a course that zooms you all there in time. And then we gotta remember to pick you all up again. We're usually pretty good about that, though. Usually. Nicer someone is, less likely to forget them. Ooh, speaking of which, there are 3 rules on being on the bridge. First is to have fun, ask questions, really get to know the place. Second rule is never touch anything and listen to everything I say up here, or else. The third rule, See, rule 1 again. You'll do great if you keep those in mind, Dreki. And if you don't, well, let's just say you won't be a priority pickup. Now go have fun out there. Sleeping pods for the pilots. They don't have to go far when it's time to snooze. One of the pods has been outfitted with a Prisma noise machine. Ooh, very soothing. There it is. Space. You work there. You work here. We chart coordinates using magnetic tapes. Tapes go into this verified coordinates receiver. Or as we are calling it, a VC. Alright. I'm done. Bye. Okay, game. You cheeky little fuck. The scanner's library of coordinate tapes. Central Station, Og, Humania. The classics are all here. With these, you can go anywhere in the DORP system. There's even one called How the West Was Found, Navigating Without Directions. Oh, concerning. It's super fun and interesting. You're half asleep, chair, so it's time for bed. No problem. Have a wonderful rest of your evening, a rejuvenating eve, and thanks for stopping on by. It's always nice. We talked to Joe. No. All right. I think that's it for the bridge. Whoop, missed the door. Okay, we need to go to engineering. Perception and engineering. Hey, hon. Your third cycle already. How are you feeling about the world of intersolar journalism? I am, as they say, killing it. Ooh, boy. They really must have overclocked your confidence chip, kid. But I'm sure you'll level out eventually. And if not, well, some internships are shorter than others. You'd better go pick up your assignment now. Paper doesn't write itself, you know. Hey, you sprockets. Lots to do, huh? You said it, Quasar. Beep. Alright, what's the engineer got?
Dreki, right? Impressive thing we are the first ever robo reporter on our ship. How you like it so far?
I was made for this. Literally.
I guess that's true. Might be kind of nice, knowing exactly what purpose you were made for. Guess that's how it is for the Verge. But it could be restricting too. What do you think?
It is tough. What if I want to be some other type of robo?
That's a good question. If I'd been a robo, I'd have been one of those pencil-pushing types like Copybot. That wouldn't have been right for me at all. I think even as a robo, you could still carve your own path. You get to decide what kind of reporter you are, for example. You gonna be a wild card, slanderous tabloid writer, a by-the-book type? There are lots of different types of reporters. Like how the shuttle bots are so different.
They are?
Of course they are. You can't tell?
Huh. Maybe you ought to work on your observational skills a bit.
Here we go. We're soliciting you to try and stop got me, did she? Don't waste your time. You can't talk me out of this. I have to follow my instincts.
I was not sent to do anything by anyone.
Oh. Well then. I'm gonna meet an anonymous source. In a shady bar. On the wrong side of a planet. Highly dangerous move. Bankrolled by the paper.
Is the story worth the risk? Would you go if this company wasn't paying?
Look, I deserve to be paid for my work. We all do. Some stories have different costs than others. Emotional, physical, financial. Especially that last one. The source always has something good. And we usually have a pretty good time regardless. So I should get going. Oh, and Ursula didn't send you. Maybe don't tell her about this, okay? Kinda suspicious.
Oh, it's Ursula.
Oh, hello. You're the new intern. Dreki, is it? We've yet to be introduced. I'm Ursula Laser Cunningham, editor-in-chief. I read your story on that cat show, and of course, the shuttle crash. You seem to favor stories about people, the who over the why. Readers love to read about themselves, but be careful to make sure you're still reporting on actual news. The editor-in-chief of the Times and Galaxy noticed the dominant angle in your stories so far is alien interest. Scanner colleagues and beings you meet on the assignment may react differently depending on the angle you tend to favor in your stories, as well as your current readership and reputation. If at any point you may want to check on how you're doing, you can do so in the pause menu while not in a conversation. We're expecting big things from you. Now, if you'll excuse me, I have an important meeting to get to.
Did that go well?
The answer is inconclusive.
Well, I guess our stats will change things. Damn, our charisma cap isn't ready. Barry seems excited. Maybe because Puff Piece is here.
Hey, ya Puff Piece. What you doing there, goober?
Your sensors detect green goo in every mechanical joint in this room. Puff Piece seems to have lubricated every mechanical doodad in sight. Is that part of their official duties? Is Puff Piece employed here? Blorp? Blorp to you too. Blorp blorp? Puff Piece looks at you expectantly. Just pet Puff Piece already. You pet Puff Piece. They gurgle in delight. You're both better for having had this interaction. I love Puff Piece.
Oh, hey, check it out. X and I were talking and we got curious. What would happen if I was hooked up to the scanner computer? I'm no longer a broken pilot bot. From here on out, I shall be known as Scannerbot. Yeah, sorry about that. I thought it would be funny. So now our ship is sentient, I guess. I see all. Neat. Ship status is, well, a ship. The ship stuff is all working. You worry too much. All right, nothing left to do but talk to the boss.
Time to run our little feetsies over there. There we go. Hello, Dreki. I trust that you are settling in well. It's easier with you around. The learning curve is steep. So far, so good. That is excellent. Keep up the good work, and perhaps they will keep you. Based on your work so far, I would not complain. All right, boss, what you need? Please remind the writers to always put the time near the verb in their informational leads. A deal was struck this cycle, not this cycle, a deal was struck. It's important for consistency and concision. Arwen rolls the goo equivalent of their eyes. Dreki, good timing. Copy bot and I were syncing until now. Time is now. Verb is sync. Acceptable distance. What does that even mean? Hello again, intern. I must say, Arwen, this one has potential. I think so too. I really must get back to my work. War against M-dashes never ends. I suppose someone needs to worry about how close a time is to a verb. That reminds me, I need to ask a favor. Have you met Joe? He's the scanner's captain. Real character. He borrowed my copy of E.B. White Dwarf's The Theoretical Elements of Style. Been something like 84 cycles. Now I need it back. Wait, what's that you've got there? My book! Thanks. Hopefully Joe didn't give you any trouble. So, your assignment. From time to time, we have more assignments than reporters. There are a couple stories to consider this cycle. Solar Government is announcing a new alien sexual education curriculum. And there's a new toy all the kids won't shut up about at the Space Mall. I hope those two are not connected. I'll let you pick which one to cover. How am I doing so far? How are you liking my work? Most of what you write is alien interest. I would suggest you lean more towards harder news going forward. Curious about anything else? That's my reputation. Reputation is good, I think. Fellow reporters have nothing but good things to say about you. Nice work, Dreki. How's readership? Readership is good. Not always the goal, but I guess it means we have jobs. What else would you like to know? That's all. What's the curriculum announcement? Yorp's Solar Government is announcing a new standardized sex ed curriculum for the entire system. I need you to attend a press conference on Central Station. That's where the Solar Government's education minister will unveil the new curriculum. Should be a solid informational yarn. What are my options again? Here's what I have this. Okay, what's the new toy launch? There's a new toy every parent needs, apparently. Something called a silly cube. I'm not sure if this is a story. The editor-in-chief Ursula insisted I assign it to someone. Well, I mean, I gotta do the sex ad. There's no way this isn't going to have a very silly and hilarious twist. I do wish I had an opportunity to quit out so I could save before choosing. My last save is a while ago. Yorp Solar Government is announced. Okay, yeah, I need it. Okay. Cover the press conference. Have fun, and try not to file anything too graphic. Something like this always brings out the weirdos. Be extra careful who you quote and how you write it. I don't need those weirdos flooding my inbox with debris. Okay, if I save, can I switch stories from talking to him? No. All right. Lovely. Let's go see what we can turn up on this. I'm sure this is going to be a very average and normal, just a very boring run-of-the-mill event. And will not be titillating whatsoever. Punch it. Oh, that place looks broken. That's not good. Extra curricular activity. Oh boy. You're just in time to see Armand Orbum, Dorp System Education Minister, step to the podium and begin their presentation. Orbum emanates warmth for a strictly professional amount of time before speaking. Today, the solar government announces a new sexual education curriculum. The intention of this curriculum is clarity. It covers the system's 5 intelligent species. After consultations spanning the entire system, we have developed a standardized lesson plan for all of Dorp to use. We are pleased to share some of the excerpts with you now. Constellations of propagation. Reproduction in the Dorp system. The crowd murmurs. Orbum clears the equivalent of their throat. The murmurs cease. We understand concerns about publicly sharing such materials, but rest assured the following presentation features no overt erosion. It is appropriate for all ages. The humans of Humania. A human present, who doesn't appear to be a member of the press, scoffs at the screen. Orbum is not fazed. Human reproduction is simple. When humans wish to have a child, they submit a request to the storks, a flock of mysterious, gigantic birds that live on Humania. The would-be parents must prove their deep love for each other, or be eaten. Once the human's love is proven, the stork takes flight. It returns with a baby in 7 to 10 business cycles. Nobody knows from where the storks procure these tiny new humans. They always match the DNA of the parents who receive them. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's how human... Yeah, I think that's how I was taught how that works, right? Can any humans confirm? When zeal wish to propagate, they remove a small clump of themselves and combine it with clumps of other zeal. These clumps merge into brand new life. The combination process can include clumps from many parents. RoboChild is born of an ordered assembly kit. Their bodies will remain as built unless later modified. It is imperative all instructions are followed during their assembly. New robots programming is a blank slate. They must be socialized like an adolescent of any species. When a verge reaches adulthood, one of their growths will begin to gently thrum. This means it is ready to be broken off and planted in one of Prito's many spawning grounds, which will incubate and hatch. Every verge is capable of planting a growth. Auger reproduction begins with the fertilization of a soul egg. Each egg is buried a few feet underground, protected from the planet's harsh surface elements. Once hatched, an infant auger will claw its way to the surface. It will immediately seek a piece of junk to shield itself from any threats, and wait to be discovered by its parents. They're not necessarily the same parents who created it, but rather any adult augers that find and claim the child. This concludes our announcement. I am now pleased to answer a few questions. I see. The other journalist present acknowledges your approach with a snort.
So you're TNG's new hire. DR3K1, yeah? I read your files on the crash and the cat show. But I'm not the only one. You clearly write to keep the readers interested. Keep it up. I'm Warren, the listening one. Senior reporter with the Dorp Dealer.
What do you think of the announcement?
Nice try. You don't get to pick my brain to pad your word count. Nothing personal. I'm happy to commiserate about the job, but we don't talk about stories before we write them. My insights are for my readers. You should be one of them.
Says the tabloid reporter. Ren snorts.
Such a harsh term, meant to convey such judgment. We just have a little more edge than you. And a lot more readers.
And by definition, less ethics?
Ah, but the truth has no ethics. You would do well to remember that. Listen, this chat has been very revealing. But I'm gonna go write an article. That will pull more readers than your entire paper. Be seeing you around.
Sorry. Still laughing about how uptight that presentation was. About sex stuff? She glances at your jacket. Time's a galaxy, huh? I think I've read your stories. Dreki, right? How do you feel about the new curriculum? It's good. I'm a bit biased, though. I just love curricula. Can't get enough of them learner outcomes. Give me all the educational scaffolding you've got, please, and thank you. Joking. I'm just one of the students they consulted for this curriculum. Winfred Prippet. How'd they pick you? I'm kind of a big deal as far as school-age nerds go. My grades are good, like really good. Top 99th percentile in all of Dorp. So the school often asks me to do stuff like this. Kind of fun. My friends get jealous. What was the consultation process like? I mean, it felt funny to talk about reproduction in a room with people, like, taking notes. They were so serious, asking us what we knew about how species reproduced. And we knew so much. They seemed embarrassed. Especially because we kept calling it banging. It was so funny. Like, every species poops, every species bangs. I'd be ashamed about it. It was so funny. Every species bangs. Write that down, make a note. I do not believe I poop or bang. No, you definitely bang. And clang. Whenever you run into things, at least. You are very blunt. Yeah, well, someone's gotta be. But I should get back. Don't want to be late. I have rehearsal for our school musical. These Miserables, huh? It's about revolution. Very inspiring stuff. Thanks for chatting with me. A Zeal body. Leave these behind when they travel through the goo tubes. Sounds like fun. Ooh, a protester? Oh, I'm gonna need to hydrate. There's like a pretty obvious kind of voice I need to throw for this. The protester snaps to attention. Oh boy. He seems very intense. You with the media? Yes, Times and Galaxy. Care to share your thoughts?
TNG is too mainstream for me. You're the only one here who's been willing to talk to me. My name is Clarence Finspar from Humania. That was all garbage. Solar government should be ashamed of itself.
They should be ashamed? Why? Clarence spits on the ground.
That announcement was a parade of vulgarity. Vile, dangerous vulgarity.
Looks as though others at the conference are starting to pack it up. Better wrap this up or you might miss the chance to talk to interview other people.
We have to protect our children from interstellar smut. I'll hand it to them on a government-sanctioned platter.
Interstellar smut? Walk away and end the interview.
Hey, wait a second. I still have things to say.
You turn your back and walk away. Your editors will hear about this. Mark my words. Oh no. Ooh, a plant. You found a periwiffle seed, known for releasing incredibly fragrant spores when touched. It's also called the scratch and sniff plant by humanians of a certain age. The government-mandated spread of light refreshments includes Zap slime canisters, several bowls of dirt, and sliced white bread. The augur nods and smiles as you walk up. He doesn't seem to know what to do with two of his hands.
Oh, why, hello.
Brings you down to the announcement.
Well, it's important. Name is Kando Kriglin. Teacher and was, one of the augur consultants on this curriculum. Why I came to the announcement today. In support. I was proud to be here for, its unveiling. Yeah, more people would show up. I guess, curriculum announcement isn't universally thrilling.
What was the consultation process like? What effects do you think this curriculum will have?
Teaching this in schools, takes the pressure off. So parents don't have to teach it on their own, without resources.
Also ensures the kids get the right information, you know?
Sometimes parents just don't, know how to talk about sex.
Or don't want to.
If you don't explain this to kids, they, teach themselves. Which can often go badly.
See it every year in my class. Takes a lot more work to, unteach the incorrect stuff. What was the consultation process like?
It was excellent.
Government representatives were really, good. Appropriately neutral. He asked a lot of questions that were really specific, but, professional, so it wasn't too uncomfortable. I'm a new parent myself, so I, had a lot of, first-hand knowledge to offer. Maybe don't quote me on that. Wow, congrats. Are you worried? Being a parent is, it's a lot. You know, burying your egg and just, walking away? Coming back later to check if they've hatched. Yeah, ended up finding a second hatched child in addition to the one we had left. Our little family has, quickly grown. It was nice to, do this consultation. Like I can help other new parents with, this sort of thing. One less thing for them to worry about. There are many things to worry about. On that note, I should get home. Thank you for speaking with me. Another reporter jumps in before you can speak.
When the listening one, Dwarf Dealer, did Zeal Prime give any input on the curriculum?
Prime was informed of the update. After examining it, they said, "Do baby augurs really look like that? Adorable!"
Prime offered no further input or questions. What was the consultation process like?
Representatives from every planetary education system provided input throughout the consultation process. Again, the focus was on accuracy.
Hey, who made the images used in the presentation?
Images were created by Central Station's in-house graphic design team. Every species had final say on their imagery. Robos were particularly pleased.
Orbum nods at you. Who's Zeal Prime? Orbum scoffs.
Excuse me? You do not know the benevolent being on which you are currently standing? Central Station is Zeal Prime.
Perhaps you should visit the viscous throne before asking such uninformed questions. And with that, Orbum steps away from the podium. You should see if anyone else wishes to comment. Why is there a winky face? Game, why would you winky face at me? Brochures for all sorts of governmental programs and job opportunities. You know, maybe you should consider a second career in tax mining. A list of upcoming events that happen in this room. one can apparently rent this space. Upcoming rentals. 4-tip Wax Tusk, Retirement Party, Government Assistant Appreciation Night, Student Model UDP Conference. Last one might be worth some coverage. Tip has been automatically forwarded to Arwen. This is the only chair they set out for the press conference. Clearly, we're not expecting many people. We're at 11 out of 11 thoroughness. Seems like it's a shorter one than our others. All right, let's build our story. The curriculum unveiled. Parents scoff. It's your solar initiative. All come from somewhere. Curriculum is garbage. Controversial. Thorough consult. Teachers included. Why new course? Teachers consulted. Every species bangs. I don't want that to be our quote. Ooh, new parent. Damn, we lose reputation on that? Lame. Teaching themselves. Ashamed of itself. Interstellar smut. I think that might be a good one. New standard. No overt erogyny. Could we lose readership? There's no smut in this article! Ah, come on! Educational minister presented a review. Graphic images. Input given. I think we go with input given. Every species was consulted. What if I wait for one of the heads to fly by? Okay. I was wondering if I could interact with the Zeal head as it slid by. Yep, I'm out of here. All right. New sex ed curriculum unveiled. From giant birds to clumps and assembly kits, we all come from somewhere. Teachers were among those who contributed to the development of the new curriculum. Sometimes parents just don't know how to talk about sex, or don't want to, said teacher Kando Krieglin. But if you don't explain it to the kids, they teach themselves, which can often go badly. The government said that every species was given final say on the images used in the course. The robos, they say, were especially pleased. Submit story. Hell yeah. Get that reputation up. Get that readership up. Get that story angle up, up, up. Let's do this. We're a report bot doing our report job. So very good. Yeah, let's fucking do this.